Welcome to all of you. You're going to have to forgive me because I'm okay, but I'm going to take some of these breaks as we go because, I wasn't ready for this any more than you were. The first thing I want to do is, okay, bring it down a little bit. Get a little closer to it. Okay, yeah. I want to, take care of some, I guess you call it housekeeping, but not that. It's really just thank yous to everybody who did everything they could for Mary during her illness and even before. First of all, the ALS Society, incredible help and support. I attended, regularly these support groups once a month for several years. They were extraordinarily helpful. In addition to that, they loaned us a lot of equipment and insights, and so thank you to the ALS Society. Thank you so much to the two caregivers who, there's no way to describe it. They adopted Mary. She adopted, she was part of, they were the rock that supported her. And we have one of them here today, Philomena. Philomena, you got to stand up and take a round of applause. Don't be bashful. This lady was the rock. So thank you, Philomena. And Mona. Mona's not here, but what a great person. She just embraced Mary and vice versa. Fairview Home Care and Hospice, and especially the hospice nurse, Dana. Dana was amazing. We could call on her at any time of day, and I'm not kidding, stuff would show up, within the hour. It was just mind-boggling how amazing that hospice program was and how supportive they were. Reliable medical equipment. These are not commercials, by the way. Reliable was incredible. You could call them at any point in time during the week, during the day, at night, day, and tell them what your problem was, what was going wrong with the particular mechanism. And they would either walk you through it or they would show up with the replacement. So they were reliable, unbelievable. And finally, Dr. Manasoukas and his team, the neurologist at the U, so compassionate and yet so straightforward. We really relied on him throughout Mary's illness. So a real heartfelt thank you to Dr. Manasoukas and that whole team at the U. And then we have more. We have all of Mary's family and friends. And so I started to make a list and then gave up. There are too many. So all of you, thank you so much for everything that you did during Mary's illnesses. It just made everything bearable. Certainly didn't make it easy, but it made it bearable. So thank you so much for all of your support. And then lastly, I want to thank Mary's niece Becky and her husband John, and her kids Sam and let's see, I'll get them right here. Okay, John, Jack, not John, Jack. I'm not nervous, right? Jack and give me a break here. Come on. Jack and Sam and Katie. Okay. Woo! Got it. Thank you so much for opening your home and your wonderful grounds and everything for this venue. It just wouldn't have been possible, obviously, if you guys wouldn't have done that. So thanks again for that. Okay, now for my personal comments here. As many of you know, Mary and I first met in an Alliance Française conversation group almost 22 years ago. When I heard her speaking French, in the advanced conversation group. The French have a saying, you know, coup de foudre, a lightning bolt. That was it. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I won't go into how I managed to start going there, but it was just mind-blowing. I mean, here was this gorgeous woman speaking fluent French, arguing about French grammar and conversation, and I just was overwhelmed. Now, as you know, Mary was not easily overwhelmed, and so I was obviously overly enthusiastic, but pursued my courtship or whatever, and I invited her to have coffee at a place called the Anodyne, which is on Nicollet. I mean, it's not there anymore, but when I was playing tennis there, we used to go there and have discussion groups. So we went to the Anodyne. That was our first official date. And of course, I enthusiastically announced myself as a member of an Enneagram group, and wouldn't she like to know about the Enneagram and how people are, defined by numbers. And she stopped me immediately like that, the way she did. And she said, couldn't we just talk? I don't date by numbers. What was I going to do? Well, we did have one thing in common, very much in common, our love of the French language and things French. When the moment came to choose our wedding vows, I immediately thought of the wonderful tale of the little prince who came to our planet from another world, pulled by a flock of birds. He wanted to discover why he could not make his rose happy on that planet. The little traveler encountered an extremely shy little fox who explained that the little prince should not expect to become friends immediately. What must I do to tame you? Asked the little prince. You must be very patient, replied the fox. First you will sit down at a little distance from me, like that, in the grass. I shall look at you out of the corner of my eye, and you will say nothing. Words are the source of misunderstanding. But you will sit a little closer to me every day. The two became friends. Then the little prince told the fox that he would soon have to leave, but the fox must not cry. It is your own fault, said the little prince. I have never wished you any sort of harm, but you wanted me to tame you. I forgot to figure out how to move the paper, right? Yes, that is so, said the fox, and told the little prince that when he came back to say goodbye, he would make him the present of a secret. When the little prince came back, the little fox said, here's my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. I came to understand that Mary, like the fox, seemed always to see with her heart. When it came time to return to his planet, the little prince told the narrator, a pilot who had crashed in the same desert where the little prince had landed with this flock of birds, that he would make the pilot a present. At night, you will look up at the stars. Where I live, everything is so small that I cannot show you where my star is to be found. He laughed again. Ah, little prince, said the pilot, I love to hear that laughter. That is my present. Just that, said the little prince. What are you trying to say? In one of the stars I shall be living. In one of them I shall be laughing. And so it will be as if all the stars were laughing. When you look at the stars at night, you, only you, will have stars that can laugh. And when your sorrow is comforted, and time soothes all sorrows, you will be content that you have known me. You will always be my friend. You will want to laugh with me. And you will sometimes open your window. So for that pleasure, and your friends will be properly astonished to see you laughing as you look up at the sky. Then you will say to them, yes, the stars always make me laugh. And they will think you are crazy. And he laughed again. It will be as if in place of the stars, I had given you a great number of little bells that knew how to laugh. And I'm already looking at the stars that way. So I want to finish simply by reading a sonnet from William Shakespeare that I read on the day that we were married. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it even out to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. So I'm going to enjoy the stars. And remember Mary. Thank you all for coming. I can't move.